Yo, yo, yo. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Mickal. That's look. Y'all see from the title, man. Y'all see from the title, man, the harsh reality of Canelo versus Crawford. Now, we know Crawford put BTA to Canelo. The one thing about Canelo, bro, is Canelo does not like fighting fighters that have high IQ, that is shifty, that is quick, defensive monsters like Crawfords, like the Floyds, like the Dimitri Bivol, what his name is. Reason why Canelo really didn't want to fight Crawford is literally because the money was right. The money was right, so boom, of course you're gonna fight that. The money is right. I think he made like 150 M's. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. A lot of people were talking down, we're talking shit about Crawford. One thing, if you actually study Crawford and watch Crawford, he's just like Floyd. Reason why Floyd embarrassed Canelo, they see how Crawford beat Canelo and was in there and was taking them hard hits, not going out nothing. He was not backing up. He was still there. Fighting him. What's up? I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into the video though.
Alright fellas, now Canelo and Crawford finally just faced off, and what a fight it was. The almost fantasy-like matchup did come true, and we just saw two of the greatest of our time share the ring. Now going to this fight, there were so many questions. Would Crawford adapt to the weight, and would he be able to take Canelo's power? And for Canelo, could he put on that statement performance and silence all that had criticised his last few fights? And well, we certainly got all the answers. So I want to break down what just happened in the fight, what does this performance mean for both, and of course the question of, well, what's next? But just quickly, if you love boxing, you've found your one-stop shop. My name's Cloyster and I make box videos as things happen to keep you informed, so make sure to subscribe and I'll always keep you in the loop. Now, to go back a second, Fight Week didn't really bring up anything super unexpected. It was pretty much business as usual, and that's why I didn't end up covering it, because there was nothing huge to note. Except that the size difference between the two wasn't that large after all. Both looked the same size, and both did look in incredible shape. The venue for this fight was pretty impressive. This was the first ever boxing fight at the Allegiant Stadium. They packed tens of thousands of fans in, and it absolutely looked fantastic. Now the undercard overall was so-so. Some great fights, yet some stinkers. But outside the main event, probably the most entertaining was the Billy Martinez fight, so it's worth a watch.
I'm not gonna lie, this fight right here, I'm not gonna lie, this fight was actually good. They was going back and forth, it was going crazy. They was going back and forth with it. You know what I'm saying? They was going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You know what I'm saying? But when Canelo and Crawford fight, I'm not gonna lie. This how you know you can beat Canelo is when he can't hit you. See, every time I start speaking some facts, here they go. The one thing is, when you know you go not Crawford, but Canelo, when he gets frustrated, his face turns red. That's how I know you got him, because he can't hit you. He's mad. He's frustrated. Then he's out his element and he's out his game. Same thing how Floyd did it. The same thing how Crawford did it. The same thing how Bivol and Dimitri did it.
But undercard aside, everyone was only there for the main event. After months of hype and anticipation, the moment finally arrived. Crawford and Canelo standing across from each other, with only the referee Thomas Taylor in between. Now, the opening rounds were tense, with both fighters settling into a rhythm. Canelo, known as a notorious slow starter, did go to the body early, while Crawford's southpaw jab kept him in control of the distance. The first few rounds were close, but Crawford's sharper counters and combinations seemed to give him the edge early on, even as Canelo tried to impose himself with those heavy body shots. By the middle rounds, the pace did pick up. Canelo continued digging into Crawford's ribs, and Crawford, he was countering beautifully. Canelo did have a better round in the fifth, but Crawford, not liking this, came out in the sixth, looking to retake control. He knew he had to impose himself to stop Canelo's forward momentum, and that he certainly did. As the fight wore on, Crawford's precision started to separate him from Alvarez. He peppered Canelo with sharp combinations, finding success on the inside and timing his left hand beautifully. An accidental clash of heads opened up a cut over Crawford's right eye in the ninth, giving Alvarez a glimmer of hope, but Bud remained composed. In the championship rounds,
I feel like Canelo kind of did that on purpose, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like, not really, but like, headbutt just to give him a kind of a chance. Because especially if somebody is cut, that gives you a chance. Because if you can continue to hit that cut, the referee has to stop it, or the doctor
Crawford's
has
confidence was
and you're saying
clear,
the ref
trading
has
with
to stop
Canelo
it.
on the
You know what I'm
inside,
saying?
countering
Stop it.
effectively and walking him into shots. By the 12th, it was obvious Canelo needed a knockout, but the moment never came. Crawford kept him at bay, landed crisp counters, and closed the show strong. After 12 rounds, the scorecards told the story. 116-112, 115-113, 115-113, a unanimous decision. Terence Crawford defeated Canelo Alvarez to become the undisputed super middleweight champion of the world. A historic moment as Bud cements his legacy by taking down the man who many consider to be the face of boxing. Crawford proved all his critics wrong. He took Canelo's power, stood there and traded with him, and had huge success in controlling the range. It was a competitive fight, but personally, I think Bud was the clear winner. Although Canelo did look better than he did against Skull, in my eyes, this performance had shades of the Skull performance. Canelo just struggled to catch Bud. Unless Canelo was standing there trading with him, Bud was just too slick and was able to evade much of what Canelo was trying to do.
And that's what I mean. People that are slick, have high IQ and good at defense. The same shit when he fought Floyd. Remember, y'all said if Floyd fought Canelo now, I still got Floyd winning. And Floyd, when he fought Canelo, y'all said that Canelo was unexperienced. Before that he fought Floyd, he had, didn't he just be Shane Mosley and Cotto before going to Mayweather? He already been in 8 title fights. If you've been in 8 title fights, bro, you already there. But he probably hadn't fight somebody as big as Mayweather. And Mayweather, I feel like wasn't even trying. I feel like Mayweather was just playing with the nigga. Pause. Like, I feel like he was just messing around, not taking that shit really seriously. Now, if you go to Pretty Boy Floyd, young Floyd, Pretty Boy Floyd, before he broke his hand, he had to change the style. Y'all niggas love saying Floyd ran. He never ran. Go watch Pretty Boy Floyd. Money Mayweather Floyd is different from Pretty Boy. Pretty Boy Floyd was throwing them boop, 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 boop. Nigga, knock your ass out. I'm telling you, Pretty Boy Floyd, put Pretty Boy Floyd versus Canelo, and I promise you, never mind. I'm not even gonna say that because, you know.
He wouldn't get stuck on the ropes. He wouldn't get stuck in the corner. His lateral movement, alike to Skull, just frustrated Canelo. Although, unlike Skull, his movement combined with his superior skills and willingness to even stand there and trade at times was his recipe to victory. This was the fight we all hoped for, a competitive bout which answered all of our questions. Yet simply put, Crawford outboxed Canelo. Really, not much more is needed to be said. Something also of note, which I don't think really was said enough during the broadcast, is this is the first time that a male fighter has become a 3-division undisputed champion. This is an accolade you just can't understate, and he's done it all while remaining undefeated. Although, of course, the question now turns to what's next for both of them, and this is a tough question. I think retirement for both is something that sooner or later they will be staring down. At 35 and 37, it's going to come in the next few years. Do I think it happens next for either? No. For Crawford, this victory now opens him up to the casual market. His commercial value will never be higher than it is after this fight.
That is true.
Although he has been a mainstay at the higher end of the pound for pound for years, it's true he couldn't always sell. Yet this win opens him up to the world. Having this size of a show on Netflix and winning will make him a household name. And whatever comes next for him will be massive. From a legacy...
And I'm pretty sure that's why he really wanted the Canelo fight. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he's always been underrated, always underappreciated. You know what I'm saying? He's a great fighter. Like, if he had, like the Mayweather, type of fame and all that, you know what I'm saying? He probably have more money than he does. He has money, but I'm saying, more money than he has now. But I'm saying from this fight, from beating Canelo is going to open a lot of doors to where there's more opportunities, more money for him to get the spotlight. You know what I'm saying? It just... Other one was him versus Errol Spence, but what he did to Errol Spence is just... I'm not gonna lie, that shit is sad what he just did to Errol Spence. I'm not gonna lie, y'all.
Perspective, if he sailed off into the sunset now, I wouldn't be mad. But I think the commercial upside currently will be too strong to let him retire. And from what I've read, there's no rematch clause for this fight, which puts the power in Bud's hands. The rematch is the biggest bout commercially they could make for either fighter next. After this, I would assume that this fight has done well numbers wise. So if it ticked all the right boxes for the Saudis in terms of promotion, I could see them absolutely wanting to run it back. They have Canelo signed for one more fight, and the whole point of the Saudi involvement in boxing is to promote Saudi Arabia. That's why it's all branded Riyadh season, so putting Canelo against Bud again would of course do way better numbers than say putting him against a Eubank or an Mbili. In result, of course it would have a more favourable return on investment. So honestly, I do see a rematch happening, unless somebody retires. Although say the rematch doesn't happen, what other names could I see floating around which could be a possibility for either? Well, I think Hamza Shiraz is a name which will end up fighting one of them eventually.
What I think Canelo should fight is Benavidez. I think Canelo should fight Benavidez. Come on, bro. Like, at least, see, one thing is, I actually like watching Canelo fight. But his last fights have been disappointing. I want to see a nigga fight Benavidez. Bro, go fight Benavidez, man. That's a fight I really want to see is him versus Benavidez. Like, come on, gang.
He's a Riyadh season darling. The promoters do love him. And it's clear to see that he's in line for his shot. And he's actually a good boxer too, most recently sparking out Belanga. And he's absolutely in line, so don't be surprised to see his name thrown about in the near future. Mbili could have been a chance if he won his fight, but unfortunately he probably will have to rematch Martinez. And Eubank, I don't think anyone wants to see that. I think either against Canelo or Bud, that would be a one-sided mess. So I hope that's not even a chance. Another interesting potential name though is Bivol, with Beterbiev seemingly moving on from their trilogy for the moment as Bivol recovers from surgery. If Bivol decides not to make the trilogy, I wouldn't be surprised to see his name in the mix. Yet he would have to move down to make that fight happen against Bud. And worth noting also, in the post-fight presser, Crawford did shut down a potential fight against Boots. So I guess that's the end of that. But overall, I do see the rematch happening next. Although we shouldn't focus too much on the future, we have to appreciate the now. Crawford put on a performance which has sent shockwaves through the boxing world. He has made a case for himself for being the best of this generation. And a 3-weight undisputed champion might be a thing we never see again. He chased greatness, and he pulled it off. It was a great night for Crawford and a great night for boxing. Nights like these prove the hunger for the sport is still well alive. And simply no other sport can replicate the feeling of big boxing fight nights. But now, as always, I want to hear what you think at home. What were your scorecards?
Man, y'all, let me know what you think down below. Do y'all think Canelo... I think some people on Twitter talking about Canelo was robbed. Y'all niggas tripping. Like, I'm from Russia. Y'all niggas tripping talking about Canelo robbed. Y'all niggas tripping. Then y'all niggas... Yeah, but... Let me know what you think down below, man. Yeah.